Today we'll be discussing how an Imap server works, but first we'll take a look into the email. Now, an email or electronic mail has gained enormous popularity over the past 2 decades, as we all know. Email has almost entirely replaced snail mail for most long distance communication. It is easy to use and, more importantly, it's free. In this video, we will see how email works. Now let's build an environment in which we can better understand how the email works. An email system is composed of two subsystems, mail user agent and mail transfer agents. Here we can see. Now we'll look into the mail user agents first. These are the clients that let the user read, write and send emails. Some of the most popular clients are MS Outlook, Mozilla Thunderbird, Windows Mail, and there are also other mail user agents. Now the mail transfer agents form the heart of the email infrastructure. They are responsible for moving messages from source to the destination. They are basically simple transfer protocol servers. An example is a sendmail. Now, when a user wants to send a message, it connects to the mail server and pushes the message to the server. This push act is done with the SMTP. It is therefore a push protocol. Similarly, when the user wants to check for any received messages, it connects to the mail server and asks for the message. Now, this process is implemented with the Internet Mail Access Protocol or POP. So, we can see that when the email was primarily used, the internet usage was very limited. The simple protocols were used to access and send emails. We required different protocols for sending and receiving emails. Now, the initial protocol to receive mail was POP, which is the post office protocol, which was very simple and did not meet our needs. Examining the flaws of POP, to receive an email, mail client had to connect to the mail server and ask for messages. The user had to download messages to the hard drive, and also to view them. Uh, the privacy threats were there, and if accessing messages from a public computer, messages were left in that PC. A user with multiple mailboxes couldn't access them simultaneously. Now, to address these issues, a new mail access protocol was created. It is called Imap. This protocol increased the ease of access for the normal users. Unlike POP, the Imap allows the users to maintain their mailbox on the mail server. The user does not download the messages and has to remain online to view them. Privacy issue was resolved. Another solution Imap provides is for slow internet connection users. It allows you to view essential portions of large emails. For example, when you receive an email which contains a 10 MB audio file attachment, the user has the option to view only the text associated with the message. Therefore, the slow users do not have to download the entire mail just to read the text. Now, a look at user and mail server interaction. Now, let's see a typical interaction between an Imap client and an Imap server. This state transition diagram shows the various stages on uh, a session. Now, the client first establishes a connection with the server. The server then asks for authentication and client provides the user login and passwords. So the pre-authentication path is a special feature of IMAP. The user then enters the authenticated state. Now user can toggle between different mailboxes or as you can see it can choose to log out. The server can also force the user to log out in case of unsuccessful authentication or even if the user remains inactive for a very long time. So once logged out, the server terminates the connection and deletes any user requested messages. Now we will see how uh, an IMAP and SMTP server is configured and installed. And configure an IMAP and an SMTP server. For this we are using a software named XAMPP. After entering its setup, we will configure the local users. Here we add another user. We'll type the name as freefall and personal name as free user. And here we'll type the password for that account we have created. Now we need to configure the aliases. Now the aliases are needed because we need to have a valid email address to send emails and also to receive it. So we'll enter a valid email address that will be freefall@bwe5e.com. This is written there, and its real address will be freefall@bwe5e. And now we will configure the core module. We'll enter the local domains and add a new domain. We'll be entering the domain name as bwe5e.com here, and its internet name would be bwe5e. Now we also need to mention its IP address. The IP address of this machine would be 127.0.0.1. It's written in the brackets here. Now we'll set up a Mercury SMTP server. As you can see, we have written the IP address in the two fields here. So it's configured now. Now we'll configure the IMAP4 server. As you can see, the TCP port is set to 143 and the IP interface which it will listen to is set to 127.0. That is the IP address of our local host. Now we'll set up a Mercury end-to-end SMTP client. Here we have again we have entered the IP address. So now we have configured the SMTP and IMAP servers. So now we need to know whether it works or not. So we'll open up Outlook or Express. Here we create an account. After creating an account on Outlook Express, we'll see whether it works or not. Here we're entering the email address. It's a test mail and some text is written in the message.
So we send the message, and after some time we'll see that a mail is received. Uh, as we can see, this is the same message that we have sent. So now we know that our server works, and